of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Julie, do we have a quorum? The next order of business is approval of agenda, change of sequence, or removal of items.
So I would ask that we do have a couple of the business owners being recognized that have their engagements. We're going to try to make it, if we could potentially have 6 occur later.
When everyone's
Contingent
here.
upon everyone is here.
Okay. Is there any discussion on that? If not, I would entertain a motion for approval of the agenda with that change of flexibility for the business on presentation. It's an easy motion. It's been moved and seconded to adjust the agenda as presented. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Okay, item number 5 is announcements. Do we have any announcements?
So tomorrow will be our Veterans Day program. The Pittsville has a long-standing tradition of honoring our veterans, and we're proud to have the Veterans Day program. We'll be in the varsity gym. Taylor, I'll briefly talk about the timing on that.
Our student rep.
We're going to talk about, of course, there. That's right. So, and then I would like to, I guess this is more of a celebration, but congratulations to Taylor Grossman, one of our cross-country athletes, and that's probably in the presentation as well. But I want to call that out specifically. Finished, went to the state meet and finished 29th, I believe, which she was a little disappointed, but 29th out of all the kids in the state. Yeah, that was, but I mean, it's pretty impressive, and with her being a sophomore. So, congratulations to Taylor Grossman.
Okay. Then we shall jump to item number 7, public comments. Per school board policy 187, is anyone here for public comments? Okay, then let's move on to item number 8, consent agenda items. Item A, meeting notice certification. B, regular meeting minutes of October 13th, special meeting minutes of October 22nd. D, financial status. E, hiring. Dan Severs, custodian. Maya Krings, PCCC. Tanya Kum, library media specialist. Item F, resignations. Dan Giles, director of building and grounds. Rebecca Sturdy, library media specialist, and Becky Wiseman, varsity volleyball coach. Are there any questions or discussion about the consent agenda?
I have one question.
Mhm.
The applicant that we've hired for the library media specialist, is she certified in it, or are we helping her work towards that, or what's that plan?
No, there is not. But tip, you guys want
It just didn't say it in the.
I know she's not certified, she has a master's degree, but she has some technology certifications, so she's actually looking into getting her library media specialist license.
the masters. There's 2 pathways. The 3-year with the district pathway, which would be you can only be licensed in the district, and it's 3 years of experiential components, and then you can get the LMS masters. So to Taylor's point, because she has several of the courses that are in that line, is considering actually pursuing the master's. So she will have to do one or the other pathway, but we will let her choose which one she wants to.
Sure, and so does that mean through that entire period, we have to maintain and pay the relationship with CISA, or what does it mean?
Yeah, so what happens is, first of all, we had mentoring actually that we had purchased days from CISA that we're going to maintain those mentoring days for this year. And we would have to have some arrangement moving forward with CISA until we had a licensed LMS that would have to do certain duties that are required by a licensed LMS, like overseeing the digital media, the media plan, but not anything that would involve more than a handful of days to meet those requirements.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she can actually be listed as our requirement, or
She
they're listed
will-
as the requirement?
Yeah, she will meet our requirement. There are certain things that LMS has to do that are like clerical points, so we wouldn't have to have that person from CISA full time. It would more or less be like a person who would, when we need that approval, they would go over drew a blank, not the media plan, the technology plan,
Sure.
I was close. The district technology plan, they would go over that with Tanya and certify that as a LMS of record for that.
Got it. And I should know, but like, is this a current employee who moved to Pittsville?
No.
Or is it a brand new, it's a brand new hire?
It is a brand new
Okay.
hire.
Okay,
That would indicate the employee has children in the school district, lives in the school district, but is a brand new hire.
okay, great,
Yep.
okay, super, okay, great. I just wanted to.
Yep.
Thank you, appreciate
You
it.
bet.
Any other questions? If not, I would entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda items.
Also,
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the consent agenda items. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Okay, next, item 9, information only items. First of all is the district administrator's update. Take it away, Jason.
so for those, we have a lot of new folks here that are not frequent attendees, so I would go over, we start every meeting with my update with our vision and mission. The district, these were adopted 3 years ago through a strategic planning component. This kind of drives everything that we do within the district, falls underneath these umbrellas, like these goals. Can you go to the next slide, please? This is our actual strategic plan. So once the district developed this, we use this to set our board goals. They all nest underneath these components. Our school goals, and then our teachers do their individual student learning outcomes, all fall underneath components of the strategic plan. The rationale behind having a strategic plan, much like businesses have strategic plans too, right? As a school district, there's limited resources available. Let's make sure we're using the resources towards that mission and vision and the things that we believe are those important things in the district. And if we're doing something that doesn't fall under one of these categories, then we need to stop doing it and allocate resources towards things that fall under the strategic plan. So this is a day, along with 4th of July and Christmas morning, that my kids excitedly look forward to every year in our household, this report card release. So the state report card embargo is over as of midnight tonight, and those will be publicly released tomorrow. So there will be comparative analysis in multiple newspapers that will go over, like, geographically, they will compare districts. Because it is still embargoed, I cannot speak of our results, but tomorrow you will be able to see our results along with all other districts in the state. And you can actually go to WISE- on the DPI website, and there'll be a link to that. You can search any school district in the state, and you'll be able to see the report card. But specifically, the papers are on here. What they'll do is they'll pull all the school districts in a geographic range, and they'll do a comparative analysis in there, or in an article. So we will be sending a family communication out on Wednesday to our families with the results and kind of a breakdown of our individual scores. But that is officially tomorrow. You will start to see those hit the news, both print and the news media.
I have a question. Will that go out, or will there be a summary of that going out to social media that can be then shared?
Yeah, are you talking about the communication?
Yeah, the
families?
communication, right.
Yeah, it'll go out to families. It'll get posted on our Facebook page within it, which will then be shareable by the Pittsville Record or any other entities that want to link to that. Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you.
So, next slide, please, Jen. So building and grounds director transition plan, I wanted to take some time to go over kind of the process that's taken place since Dan Giles had put in his resignation. I think it was probably about 16 days ago is when we became aware that Dan was going to be taking another position. We began immediately kind of talking about what does this look like both in the short term and then into the future here for the school district. As the board may remember, I had indicated I was not in a rush to post a position because, as we do with all of our positions in the district, is we need to, when we have a resignation or retirement, is take some time to evaluate the position, and maybe it's changed, maybe it can be streamlined, maybe it can be absorbed into other positions. So we took some time to kind of talk through this, what this might look like, and I was contacted by a couple of staff members initially who had an interest in both potentially in the position if it were posted, but in also helping out. And that led to some meetings between myself and Dan Merritt and Stephen Hadfield and Troy Cum. Dan Merritt has filled in for Dan during his absences for the last 4 years. So Dan has experience with a lot of the basic components of the custodial part and the maintenance part. So Stephen does some property management outside of his school district job, and Troy is a jack of all trades. So what we came to the conclusion of shortly after having this conversation is we felt like the best path forward was to look and see if we could potentially, through the four of us, could cover these duties until we could get a better idea of what we wanted to post a job for. Like what was the need? Because there's many different components this can look like. You know, you have some of the larger districts have a building person, like a grounds building, and then a maintenance person. They have two different people that fill roles like this. Smaller districts, you maybe when you're hiring, if you can get someone with a maintenance background or HVAC background, that's a bonus because they can do a lot of troubleshooting in the district. So we wanted to kind of take a good look at things and still deliver quality service. That was important to us. So this is on one of the next slides, but one of the things that we identified, what are going to be the biggest needs? Like what's worst case scenario? What could happen? Now, God forbid, one of the things we talk about, we have a fire. Well, Dan's not going to show up with a fire extinguisher and put the fire. We're going to call the fire department, right? And we're going to call our insurance company. What are the most time-consuming things during the winter? Snow removal and HVAC. Like those two things, like keeping our rooms heated, right? And snow removal is the biggest one. So after talking to those three and to Dan Giles, the decision was made to reach out to other entities to potentially look at helping us with snow removal. And Carl's Landscaping geographically is located right up the road. We already use Sean Dupuy for our parking lots. He does our parking lots. We have the county. We contract through the county to do the roads. Sean doesn't have the equipment to do the sidewalks or the small D entrances, which is why we did that. Typically, what would happen is Dan Giles would show up at 1 or 2 in the morning when there was a snow event and would then spend that time clearing sidewalks and salting and doing all those things. That was the piece that would, I would do a lot for this district, but I'm not going to show up at 2 o'clock in the morning and salt. You probably don't want me driving that equipment that close to the building. And then with Dan and Stephen and Troy, we just felt like, could we make it work? Yes, but it would just be just to hire folks who are experienced at this. They're a local business. When we talked to them, their proposal they came forward with was very reasonable, an hourly rate to do snow removal. So we chose to sign a contract with them related to the snow removal piece. The other piece, the HVAC, we have.
Next slide.
Next slide, thank you. Next slide, Ken. The next piece was HVAC. We use complete controls for HVAC needs in our content, right? We're going to continue to do that. We're relying. Dan did have an HVAC background, was able to troubleshoot some of that stuff. Now it's just a matter of us reaching out for assistance from the folks who are experienced at this when we had to do it today. We had some temperature issues in some of the classrooms, and we ended up calling complete controls, and they did some troubleshooting. They're able to control some of the stuff online. They can actually do stuff without coming on site. Some things they will have to come on site for, but we're going to continue with that processes. So is to more or less, I'm going to handle the administrative piece. So I will supervise the employees. I will approve timesheets and time off requests and handle like the paperwork, the requisitions. Dan Merritt is going to oversee, just like he does when Dan was out previously, he's going to oversee the custodial duties, those things. He and I are going to meet regularly so that we can brainstorm and he can keep me posted on what's going on. And then Troy and Stephen, who both have background in mechanical components, construction, repairs, will be on call to do, maybe if we have a door, let's say the door is not closing, they can go down. And what it's going to be is they're going to do timesheets for whatever they're doing outside of their contracted school day. So if they're working during their prep or during their outside school day, they'll just keep the timesheet at the end of the week, they'll turn it in for those duties that are these duties, the building and grounds duties that are outside of that day. So we feel very comfortable that we can proceed and not have a drop off in services by using this process. So what it does, there is a cost of savings to the district while we're going through this process. That was not the reason for this. If we didn't feel like we could service our students and our staff, we wouldn't do this. we feel like we're able to do that, and what it will do is, in the spring, I plan on, next slide, please, Jen. We're gathering feedback. So what we asked staff last week, I met with staff, all staff, and we laid out, this is what the process is gonna look like. Here's who you call for this, here's who you call for that. And we asked staff for feedback on what are some things to put on our radar that you have in your classrooms or needs that you have. We did the same with the custodial staff. I met with the entire custodial staff last Monday morning and said, I want you guys to carry a notepad with you on your routes, and I want you to take notes when you see things or ways that we can be more efficient or things we might be able to change. And then we did the same as far as just with the administrative team, like ask them, keep eyes on this, and if you see things that, hey, why don't we try this? It'll give us an opportunity to get a feel for what are those components, like what are we looking for specifically in the spring. I did also start exploring the possibility of contracting out for custodial services. So that we would have to do a 3 bids and a buy process, but I did start contacting to see if there would be some interest in that, because I want to be able to present all options to the board in the spring. And by that point, I will tell you this, I don't envision this as a long-term solution. Okay, so I'll just be very clear about that. I do not want to add that to my signature line of director of curriculum, girls basketball coach and whatnot, long term. Willing to do it for this year, I think we can do a good job. I don't think we can do that long term. But I think I'm anxious to see how the snow removal goes with contracting out for it. Because obviously, our folks did a good job with it, but this is what they do, right? They do snow removal, and they're very efficient with it. I met with the Carl's Landscaping folks today, and they talked about the salt that they use, how it's meant to to get into the concrete. They spread it before the snow event so that it keeps it obviously melts, but it gets down into the concrete. And I was fascinated. He ended up making it up because I didn't have the knowledge, but he sure saw me like I'm envisioning. I'm joking, of course he wasn't. But the point being, it was like we hired the right people to do this rather than us trying to. Because you cannot take snow removal as a serious business in a school district. Yeah. We have kids coming in and staff coming in and community members. We can't get that wrong, and I feel very comfortable they're going to do an excellent job for us on that. So I will bring options in the spring to the school board, and then my recommendation how we proceed. And it will not be this to continue this. It will likely be either if we want to explore it, if we get some bids from some of these companies that would take over the process for us, or post the position, and I would be able to give a list of here's what this position would look like, my vision of what we should post and what the staffing should look like in addition to the building and grounds director.
Okay, thank you, Jason. Any questions for Jason related to his report? Okay, thank you. Thank you. Next, for information only, the student representative update. And because we have a number of new people here today, please introduce yourself when you get up to the podium.
Okay, well, sorry about my name's Emma Bartlett. I'm a senior at Pittsville. I plan to go to WSP next year for childcare. Working with daycare.
My name is Peyton Lee. I'm also a senior at Pittsville High School, and I plan on enlisting in the Marine Corps.
Thank you. Okay.
Okay, so Mr. Knott already talked about this a little bit, but tomorrow is Veterans Day Assembly. The FCCLA club, they're going to do a breakfast at 8:15 in the admin lobby, so the veterans can come in, they can mingle, eat whatever they have. Usually we have, in the past, they've done like, what did we do last? Did you do that?
No.
I think they made like
Egg bake,
yeah,
there was some
it was different last year.
coffee, hot chocolate,
It was a little bit different last year.
it was. I
And
can't tell you what they're making, surprise to me.
Oh, okay. Anyways,
It's supposed to be surprise.
and then the program starts at 9:30 in the morning. It's open to the public. Anyone can come and watch it. There's a program that Ms. Rushville probably has that you can look at. I don't have it. And then there's student council lunch at 11 in the admin lobby, which is at a middle school student council thing. Yes. Okay, because I didn't know about it, so I was just curious.
And who attends from the school?
The program,
Yes.
everyone.
Okay. So,
The whole high school does it, I think
District.
Every student, every staff member in the district.
Yeah, in the past, they did two separate ones, like, we have one in the high school, and there was a separate one in the elementary school, and they're just very similar. But are we doing, is it the same?
it's nice,
District-wide.
nice to bring everyone
District-wide this year?
together.
It's district-wide, it's district-wide.
Yeah.
It got to be a little bit of a long day for the veterans and their families when we do two separate ones, redundancy, to get everybody together, so I think it's.
Yes.
One thing they requested again to have it a full district-wide.
My mom likes to do it twice, because she likes attention.
No, this is recorded,
Okay, as we know, our sophomore Kaylin Grossman attended the state cross country meet. She ran a 5K race in 20 minutes and 11 seconds, which is very impressive. She placed 29 out of 152 girls. And Kaylin says she strives to place better in the future years and continue to grow as a runner.
Yeah, she definitely, I talked to her about the state, so she definitely wants to keep going to state and keep doing better for the next 2 years.
Guys, is she not, I believe she's the school record holder.
Yeah,
in the
that's what-
5K as well.
yeah, in the 5K.
I tried to talk to her about this today, that she's
She's
very
not
humble,
paying
but she does
attention.
not like the attention. so. And then so HOSA just went on a trip to Marquette in Milwaukee. They also started a cookie fundraiser to support their activities. I don't know if that's opened up yet, but it's
Emma,
started.
could you tell folks what HOSA stands for here that may not be
I cannot. It's-
health occupations
Yes,
special?
Students in America.
I knew it was something with,
I didn't mean to put you on the spot.
it's okay. And then, so they went on a field trip, they explored career areas like sports medicine, physical therapy, dentistry, and other areas just in the medical field. And they also did team building activities.
For FFA now, they have a fruit and meat sale, and that's ending this week. They went on a tour of Fair Oaks Dairy Farm and Beasley's Apple Orchard, also exploring the Career Expo at the Convention Center and learned about future careers in colleges.
And then that was at National Convention 2 weeks ago? Yeah. I think it was in Indianapolis. In Indianapolis.
Is the meat sale, did it happen already?
Yes, the ending of it is this week.
You can still order if you want to.
Yes.
Oh, so they didn't have like a night?
Well, they had
They had
we
one
did
auction.
actually- The auction raffle was
Last
just this week,
Saturday.
this
First,
Saturday,
November 1st, yeah.
but you can still order fruit and
Yeah.
meat till the end of the week, I think.
And then this Wednesday, we're having a blood drive at school. We have like 2 every year, but you can just come in, people give blood, and then a couple of the student councilors are working it. We give them cookies and water after they give blood. But it's from 8:30 to 12:30, and you get flannel pants if you donate, so it doesn't draw you in.
Is it one size fits all?
So, you know, last year they give them hats.
Yeah.
So. And then I think there's one more.
For winter sports, girls basketball, the first practice is tonight. For boys basketball, it starts on November 17th, and wrestling also starts on November 17th.
That's all we have.
Any questions for the students?
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Great.
Yeah, I think we're going to go ahead and do those WASB Business Awards now. It appears that our fifth business is not able to make it tonight, so we'll take care of them later. So, Jason, would you like to start out with the WRSA award?
Sure. So I'm going to read, so WRSA stands for the Wisconsin Rural Schools Alliance. So we qualify as a rural school, and actually they just had the WRSA conference, and you'll hear Mary Ann and some of the administrators talk. They attended the conference a couple weeks ago, attended some of the sessions, they'll talk about that, but they do a great job of advocating for things that are of interest and matter to rural schools. That's why we try to value. You have your state level organizations, but WRSA kind of gets it at that level of what are the challenges of small communities and rural schools. So they do a Business Community Partner of the Year award, and they allow all school boards and school districts to nominate for that. And we the school board chose to nominate Han Transportation for this year. So they choose one out of all the school districts in the state that gets the actual award. So unfortunately, as much as we wanted them to get the award, they did not get the state level award. But I'm going to read the right off the plaque, and then I'm going to have Mary Ann hand this to Dan and Jake. Your nomination highlights your exceptional contribution to supporting students in rural schools in Wisconsin. Your impact on students is extraordinary. We can't thank you enough. So I wanted to touch base really quickly while Mary Ann's going up, and Dan and Jake, if you want to come up. Our buses, we are so lucky to have Han Transportation in Pittsville, transporting our students and the drivers we have. Dan knows this, and Jake, when we talk to the drivers during the summer, first people to see the kids when they get on the bus, last people to see them when they drop them off at night. Huge role in kind of, saying good morning, hello to the kids and greeting them and getting them to school safely. So I can't thank you guys enough for the job.
I've got 47 years of experience, so. Most teachers leave at 30.
Yeah.
I'm going for the 60s. So.
Well, it's special for me personally to present this to you guys because we're neighbors.
Yeah.
So let's take a picture, and this will be on social media as well as in local newspaper.
1, 2, 3. Perfect.
I'll be chatting a little bit about the other awards we have. Our school board and all of the members on the school board are members of the statewide School Board Association, WASB, or Wisconsin Association of School Boards. And we have the opportunity to nominate local businesses for what they call their business honor roll. We were pleased to nominate 5 businesses this year who all are being recognized statewide because this is a big deal.
180, 56 school districts and 180 businesses were recognized statewide.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. I'd like to talk a little bit about each of the businesses nominated. And 2 of them are not represented tonight. So first of all, I'll start with Stop Construction. I better put on the glasses. Stop Construction has been a great partner through our youth apprenticeship program and giving back to our career technical education opportunities that we offer in Pittsville. Stop Construction donated $10,000 to our manufacturing and welding programs and $5,000 to our new autos program that is starting in 25-26 school year. We are excited about using these funds to give kids the opportunity to gain experiences that lead to their career paths. These opportunities would not be available to our students without Stop's generosity. The other thing I would like to note is, and to really emphasize, is the youth apprenticeship thing. I know there are so many of our students that get a start in their career at Stop Construction, and some of them continue in their career at Stop Construction, and that's just very special. I would like to ask the board members to join me for a photo op, or do we want to do them all at the end? How do you want to do that, Jason?
Let's do the individual presentations.
Okay, that sounds great. And we have quite a contingent here from Stop, because, yes, and would you like to talk about why there's such a big contingent?
I'll send it to you.
Sure. So we do have a lot of employees. Oh, Mary Lou.
We
Nice to get up here.
Okay, yeah, tall people in the back.
We have a lot of Stop graduates that work for Stop Construction, or Pittsville graduates that work for Stop Construction. A lot of Pittsville residents that work for Stop Construction.
I was
So
turning it off.
we are Pittsville proud at Stop Construction.
Okay.
Do you ever have purple and gold days or anything?
We don't.
See if I can get my old football jersey.
Absolutely. Anyway, thank you for all that you folks do for our school district. It is so important, and I'm gonna keep shaking here. Okay. And then there you go. If you want to hold that.
All right, 1, 2, 3. Perfect.
Thank you. Don't, yeah, board members, you might want to see it. Okay. The next business that we're honoring is Wheeler Chevrolet GMC of Wisconsin Rapids. Mary Jo and Dan Wheeler, well, it says of Wisconsin Rapids, but it's Rapids, Marshfield, and other places.
Yes.
Yes, okay. So Mary Jo and Dan Wheeler of Wheeler's GMC in Marshfield and Wisconsin Rapids have created an opportunity for Pittsville students interested in the automotive field to get hands-on experience in the spring of 2025. Mary Jo Wheeler dedicated her time each day for 8 weeks to teach Pittsville students, providing them with real-life experiences in both the automotive industry and business ownership. This included resources, field experience, and other opportunities that would not have been possible without their help. Thank you, Mary Jo Wheeler, for your generous donation of time and knowledge and what you have shared with our fledgling program. So, thank you so much.
I get to say I was a teacher for 8 weeks, right?
Well, it's always interesting starting something new.
Right.
And we just really appreciate what you've been able to do.
Pittsville proud.
It's no problem. Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Thank you. And the last one, Nate, you have to read the story about the last one. You didn't bring your glasses. Yeah.
They're blue,
They're
not
busy
pink.
cheaters.
Is there a multifocal?
They're blue, not pink.
Is this
I don't know what this is. Try to see if I can make it bigger. There you go. All right. The Pittsville Record has partnered with the school district to share information with the community about the Pittsville School District. They devote several pages of each issue to school stories and events, while they also include student articles, writings, and have even utilized the PHS student as editor. Pittsville is a community that is very proud of their schools and vice versa. With many alumni and other community members subscribing, it has been essential in fostering a positive connection between the school community and the alumni.
Yes. You need to present it to Jerry and Lena.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I guess so.
How about before we do that, I say a few words, if you don't mind? First of all, I want to thank the board for nominating us. And apparently Rick Winters was influential in this when Mary Ann wasn't around one day. Trust me, we did not plan on buying a newspaper. But when we found out from Mike that he was going to close it, we also didn't want to see the paper disappear. So I volunteered Mary Ann to do this. I think that there are some things that are key to a small town rural community. And we thought the newspaper was one. One that is absolutely essential is the school district. I know a number of us want to watch a Packer game tonight. It's been said that Green Bay without the Packers is a cold Omaha. I don't want to pick on Harpin, but without the school district, Pittsville is whatever. The school district is critical, and so we really appreciate the importance of the school district, and we want to partner with them. And so it was really important when we ended up with a senior last year, Raina Kofler. She did this as her capstone project. And Raina is a very talented young person who designed those pages and has stayed on with us and is very important to our operation. So thank you to the school district and thank you to Raina. So with that, don't tell the people in our
Brandon, you need to stand by Jared. Yeah, right, and me. So. Yeah.
Right, 1, 2, 3. Perfect.
Thank you.
Okay.
And I know Tom and Trevor are gonna do their best to attend, but, I think they should read, paragraph about each.
Certainly.
I know they weren't able to attend.
Certainly. 2 other award winners. One is Gardner Cranberry. Gardner Cranberry has been an outstanding supporter of the Pittsville School District, particularly the Agriculture Education Program, FFA, and FFA alumni. Their partnership has provided students with real-world agricultural experiences and a deeper understanding of Wisconsin's cranberry industry. Gardner Cranberry plays a key role in the success of the annual Splash of Red tours, where students guide hundreds of visitors through the cranberry harvest, sharing insights and promoting agricultural literacy. Their support has enriched student learning, expanded career awareness, and helped elevate Pittsville's ag program into one of pride and excellence. Gardner Cranberry is a vital partner in agricultural education and community outreach. Hay Creek Pallet, owned and operated by Tom and Janine Gardner, has partnered with the school district by serving as a site for senior capstone placements for years. The business also sponsors a generous scholarship for graduating seniors for the past 4 years, sponsors seasonal PHS sports schedules in the local newspaper, and have contributed to the summer theater program. The Gardners and Hay Creek are always looking for ways to support the community of Pittsville and the Pittsville School District. So,
Thank you.
thank you. Thank you for
We won't be
making the
at
effort.
If you guys want to get up and leave, then I'll.
There's no need for everybody to miss the application.
Thank you for all you do. Thank you for being the first. Thank you. Okay, back to the agenda items. Under information only items, our next is item number C, which is the Warsaw update. As Jason indicated, there was a team that went to the Wisconsin Rural Schools Association conference this year. And I think, well, 3 of them were first timers. So I've been many times. I always find it valuable because of networking with peers and learning things from other small districts. I'm wondering if Danny, Leslie, or Taylor want to share any of their experiences.
I knew you were going to be busy, so, yeah.
The keynote speaker was fascinating on how he related Disney to like a business model and how we can learn a few lessons that it's not just magic that makes Disney run smoothly. And I like that. And then there were some other breakout sessions that I feel like just hearing others speak rural areas and just how they make things work.
I think it's nice to go to a convention or a conference that was specifically geared towards, seeing how you're among compadres that are also from similar situations, because when you compare apples to oranges, I go to my director's conference, but I have to take a step back a lot of time when I'm talking and networking with individuals, because I have to remember, okay, you're from a larger district. Sometimes we don't speak the same language because there are different things that, so it's part of it. But the big piece, like she said, with the keynote speaker and the Disney World piece, that really resonated with me. I did a breakout session too for if your boss was a mouse. And it just made me really reflect on the leadership that I have in this district and what I can do to bring like the special flair to our rural district that makes us unique. That sets us apart from others because, you know, opportunities can be a little different in a rural district, but what can we do here that brings that positive? That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Like our brand.
Yeah, a brand. Thank you.
Yes,
Perfect.
yes.
A positive brand that is out there that.
Or what you did up at the.
I would just reiterate what these two had said, just also, the breakout sessions are probably the most impactful, with our mentoring and how we can, you know, just bring the stuff that we're doing in other districts to our school and just little tweaks that we can add. Even with scheduling, we went to a breakout session for scheduling and stuff like that, and you know, just hearing from others that have been in the game, well, maybe a little bit longer than we have, and how we can make Pittsville even better than we already is. So it was just really nice to hear from others and other leaders in the area. So.
Good deal. I picked up some new things on community engagement that I'm looking forward to sharing. And my understanding is that at an upcoming core admin team meeting, that we'll be doing a debrief with Jason, you three and me, as to what are some actionable things we could move forward on. So thank you. Hope you can make it next year. Any questions for anyone who are here? Okay, let's move on to item D then, the board goals update. How are we doing on those board goals? I know that one was submitted.
That is accurate, and I would tell you, now that the revised budget process is done, we will actually be able to publicly share data as of tomorrow morning. We will be hitting the finance enrollment goal heavy, because now we can devote more time to pulling that data, that information. And we have the finalized open enrollment in and out numbers. And so I would anticipate that we would be able to submit a proposal prior to December's board meeting as far as a draft goal. That would be my thought.
That sounds
We
good.
have the time and the data now that we can start making it a meaningful goal.
Okay. And maybe these board goals, instead of being just for this academic year, might be a year and a half goals, which gives us more time to dig deep. So, okay, so that would be submitted to all the board members prior to our meeting. So
I would
we
say
could all-
like well prior to the meeting, so that within that, you know, that week and a half time frame, so that we can get some feedback
Sounds good.
on the goal.
Sounds good. Okay. Item E, annual school board convention information. Jason, Chris, and Rick are all registered to attend.
Yep.
Did y'all get your, well, Chris is.
I did get my confirmation email.
Okay, wonderful.
So at some point before we have time, that's obviously in January, Chris and Rick and I'll sit down and decide how to divide and conquer, so that we can attend multiple relevant sessions and stuff. So once we get the agenda, we'll get together and schedule that out so we can get maximum value.
Sounds good. And also, Rick, as our delegate again this year, I think you'll be getting a packet pretty soon.
Once I get the packet, I will take the things we'll be voting on and make sure everyone sees it and gets a look at it.
Sounds good.
Thank you, Rick.
Okay, item F, the achievement gap reduction,
You should say a GR.
Yeah, achievement gap reduction. Okay, that's what I was thinking. Okay, close enough. We know what it is. Tell us more, Leslie.
You want me to go up there?
Yes.
Whatever works.
Yes. And so just at the beginning is just a brief introduction on, again, what this all is. Back in the day, this all started with reducing class sizes. It was the SAGE, and then they moved to this AGR. So, there's a few ways that you can reach that. It can be still class size, so 18-1 or 30-2, data-driven instructional coaching or one-on-one tutoring. So our kindergarten class is, based off of class size because they are 18. First grade is larger, they're at 20, so they're instructional coaching. Second grade is our smaller class, so they're at class size. And then third grade is also that instructional coaching as well. So then just a refresher on tier 1 instruction. So all students, no matter what they might have as a label, get tier 1 instruction in the general ed classroom. So it could be anything where the teacher's giving the instruction, but they should receive their academic, behavior, social, emotional, universal instructional design for that wide range of learners. And they figure this is about 80% of our students. So all students are able to get tier 1 instruction and be able to succeed. Okay. And then tier 2 is usually about 10 to 15%. That might need a little bit more direct instruction. It might be where there's small groups, they do some progress monitoring. It can happen in the classroom or it can happen with some of our reading specialists as well, pulled out, just depends. And then next one. And then tier 3, this is again just 1 to 5% of our students where it's weekly progress monitoring and they are usually working on specific goals with IEP goals, things like that, that they are trying to close that gap with their grade level peers. All right. So, oh, that looks wonderful. Read cheap. I think how it popped up here. So all I did was just include the fall, so it left a little bit more. But each grade level does their own goals, and they do some of their own assessments. We also do Ames Web for our Act 20 as well. Not a whole lot of them overlap with this one. There are a few of them in here, but not as many. So you can see in the fall, identifying capital letters, they're already at 73%. So that shows that our 4K students are moving through. That identifying lowercase, they're at 42%, and identifying letter sounds is at 9%, but that's that gradual development. They will have another one in the fall, which is sight words, in the winter, which is sight words that they'll do then, they don't do it in the fall. All right.
Can you remind me, the 21 out of 26, is that the same goal in the spring?
No, look, but I'm almost positive.
26.
Yes. Yes, but then in first grade.
Okay, so the 21 out of 26 is the goal for the whole year.
Yes.
That's where we're at in the
Yes.
fall. It's not the
Yes.
fall goal.
No,
So we
that
don't
is where we
expect
are.
them to know 10 in the
Yeah.
fall and then
Yeah.
15 in the winter and then
Yeah.
21 in the spring. Okay.
Yes, and
Got it.
first
I was
grade will
just-
have some that they do have a fall goal, a winter goal, and a spring goal. But it gradually increases, but you'll see that when we get to the first grade. But kindergarten, that is the spring goal.
That is the spring goal.
Yes.
So, okay, perfect. Thank you.
All right, you go. So this is still reading. So first grade, they have the sight word list. So then there you see September is 32 words. So 6 students out of the 40, which is 15%, met that goal. And then in the winter, I think they go up to, I think they're at like 60 something. And then in the spring, then it's that 120. And then this was a new one. This goes from our bookworms. It's proficient. I had to look up the name of this because it's a vowel consonant E assessment by getting 8 out of 10. And so 4 out of 40 of our students got that as well. So, but that's 10%. But again, by the end of the year, then they'll get to that 8 out of 10. Second grade has mastery on the phonological awareness assessment, and this one does come from our Ames Web. It is the 4 out of 26, so 15%. The second grade sight words, so obviously it's the 200, that's the spring goal. And so we have 23 of our students have met that. comprehension questions to a reading passage, answering 4 out of 5 of those comprehension questions. We're at 46%, and then using fiction text features. And again, we're at that 6 out of 26, so 23%. I love where you see it, where they are, and then where they end. So that's where we're looking. Then we have third grade, the reading comprehension assessment, getting 2 out of 3 on that passage that they read. So they're already at 68% on that. And then the sight word assessment that they do, they're already at 65% on that as well. So the second component then is math. And so back to kindergarten, it is identifying numbers 1 through 50, we're at 31%, and writing numbers 1 through 30, we're at 3%. That is obviously a harder task, but. And moving on, first grade, addition facts within 20, they're at 53%, and subtraction facts within 20, they are at 28%. And second grade, now we're moving up, double digit addition, with and without regrouping, and getting 8 out of 10 of those problems correct, we're at 15%. And then the double digit subtraction with and without regrouping, obviously is a much harder task. So right now they're at 0%, but they have done 0 instruction on it, so.
And again, that's the expectation of what we're hoping in spring, is that 100% would get 8 out of 10 right. Okay, perfect, thank you.
And with the Bridges math program, they constantly are seeing it and doing it throughout the year. So it's not just a 1 unit, it's constantly going through.
Awesome.
And then third grade, they start to the fraction assessment. So again, 7 out of 8, sorry. So we're at 38%. And then multiplication, it begins in third grade, and it's even starting in, I was in first grade helping out, and they were working on multiplication. I was like, wait a minute, you can't do that yet. And yes, we can. And so they're, obviously, it's still a work in progress, but they're at 8%. So those are the goals that we have set for our kindergarten through third grade students. We'll be back again in the spring with higher numbers. Any questions on those? Okay.
Thank you, Lisa.
Thanks.
Okay, item G, the spring school board election and the type A notice. Now my understanding, Jen, this needs to be, the type A notices have to go in soon in the paper, correct?
Yep, it has to be signed, and then it'll be published on November 20th.
Okay, so the next spring election will be April 7th, and we have 2 incumbents. So it just lays out what's what and take it from there. Any questions? Okay, moving on to discussion action items. Item A, all-in-one student handbook update. We have an update.
So there's just 2 things in here that maybe have come to our attention. One is the retake policy that has just come to our building leadership team, kind of was like revisiting this as term 1 concluded. And they asked if we could put this on the agenda to kind of rewrite it for the high school. So you can read it. I'm not gonna read it to you guys.
Can you tell me again what page it's on?
It's on page 55.
Thanks.
It should be in yellow.
Yeah.
Pretty much the retake gives, just because, especially in the high school, each teacher has, we already give retakes, but within the retake process, each teacher has kind of like their own different assessments that they give, whether it's a lab, whether it's an actual assessment or a project. So they just wanted to put the word of like the teacher will kind of lay out that retake policy. I gave an example, or they had an example that they used in previous, but just a process. So it's not just like, oh, I'm not going to do this test and then I'm just going to do a retake. There's a process that's involved in doing the retake for each class. So kind of teacher discretion with each class. So I don't know if these need to be separate motions. No, okay.
I don't
Then
think so.
the next, so this, on page 59 then, thank you, Rick, for bringing this to our attention, or maybe not 59.
It's under parking, right?
It's under parking, there you
Number
go.
11,
Okay, so
Page 11?
Parking right there,
59.
page
59,
59.
okay, yeah, 59.
Okay.
The last bullet, I don't even know how this, I don't know if it just got overlooked. So this is my fault on this, but obviously having an autos lab into, a full-fledged autos program. This was on here since I've taken over, so we're just gonna get rid of number 11. Obviously students are working on their vehicles many times in the autos lab and, getting cars on lifts and stuff like that, so, we're just gonna eliminate number 11.
Troy indicated this would make it very difficult for him to do his job.
Yes.
You know, so. Well, you know, I think it's cool to view this as somewhat of a living document, particularly since this is the first year we've done a combined handbook.
Absolutely.
So kudos to the faculty that said, hey, I think we have a better way.
Yeah.
So. Any questions, comments related to this? If not, I would entertain a motion to approve the high school and elementary. I'm sorry. I would entertain a motion, put your glasses on here, yeah. I would entertain a motion to improve the updates to the all-in-one student handbook as presented.
I'll make a motion to approve the addition to 55 and the subtraction of 11 on 59.
And to approve the
And approve, yeah, the handbook with those, yes, as presented. I just think we need to make note of number 11 because it's not actually highlighted and crossed off. So I'd like it in the notes that it's totally okay. I just think we need to have, like, don't sweat the small stuff, not a big deal. I just think we should put in the notes that we approve removing number 11 on page 59 in the motion.
Also,
It's been moved and seconded to approve the all-in-one student handbook update as presented and specifically indicated. So all in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Item B is the building goals.
So, okay, so it's gonna be broken up into high school, middle school, and then elementary. So, this year, as we're kind of getting our feet a little bit more wet, I guess you could say, our high school, had created a mission and vision for the high school and middle school. So, our mission statement, will be student-centered every day in order to provide meaningful learning opportunities for all. And our vision statement, Pittsville staff will empower all students to cultivate their talents and leverage their learning to positively impact the world around them. Which leads to our first academic goal for this year. So our academic goal for the 25-26 school year, students in grades 9 and 10 were identified as the bottom quartile of the student body will by the end of the year show growth in both reading and math as measured by the STAR assessment that we take in fall, winter, and spring. We are meeting with CISA to kind of look at that target group, I believe, next week? Monday. So we're meeting with them, and then going to get that data, as a baseline. And then obviously when they take that STAR assessment in January, and then they take the STAR assessment in, May, really focusing on this group. Obviously this is a big part of our report card. So something that, we don't want to wait a year to show that growth. We can measure the growth with their STAR assessments that they take in their English and math. So this year we implemented an employability skill. Again, trying to fit all areas of our staff and their expertise areas.
So our employability skill, or our employability goal is by the end of the 25-26 school year, 100% of our high school students in grades 11 and 12 will demonstrate growth in communication and problem solving skills as measured by performance tasks, classroom assessments, and teacher feedback. Our CTE department is creating that rubric. And these are two of the areas that our employers have came back and told our CTE staff of like areas of like concern, like with communication, with problem solving. So they're creating the rubric for that, and we'll have the baseline data by the end of November. And then our social emotional goal, all students will participate in at least 2 activities within the Pittsville High School by the end of the 25-26 school year. Pretty proud that 100% of our student body took the survey. So there's a little bar graph there that you can see how many number of activities that are involved in through the Pittsville School District. And then the number of students in the area. The students that are in the lower categories of 0 things. Go to the next slide, please. So some of the things that gets in the way of them joining Pittsville School District activities, clubs, or athletics, transportation, work. They don't want to join. Nervous about trying something new, which was a new thing, new response this year. Hunting, family, outside activities. So some of our students are involved in dance, or involved in other activities outside of the Pittsville School District. And then 17 students out of the 27 responded with nothing gets in the way. They just are involved in other tasks, so 4 things. Other activities that they wish that were available, chess club, trap shooting, weightlifting, writing club, fishing, golf team, debate club, and archery. And with this, we did a club rush this year, so to try to get kids more involved, because sometimes when they get to the high school or new students into the district, sometimes they just don't know how to. That was a couple of the comments, they don't know how to join. So I think by highlighting them in our press every month or every week in a different club, I think that's a great thing to add, as well as there's been club meetings during our Panther Pride time, during the school day. And also we have once a month, we have something called a Merry Monday. So it's different fun, it used to be called Fun Club. So like there's nails, decorating nails, Terry Grossman does nails on Merry Mondays, or there's kickball tournament in the gym, or it could be meat eaters, Lindsay Meisner cooks up meat for the kids. So every teacher has a different club that they run in their class. And it's actually super, super neat. They come up with these really great ideas. So at least in the spring when they say like, hey, am I involved in anything? They can at least say, hey, I'm involved in Merry Mondays, or I'm involved in clubs or the club rush. So trying to have these meetings more so during the day rather than outside of school is definitely a barrier. So trying to eliminate those barriers moving forward.
Is that list from all the students or just the students that are in 0 activities?
That's from all. Okay. Yep. I thought the debate club that came on there a couple times. I was like, oh.
Tell them to join forensics. I think there's a debate.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Golf team.
I know.
Oh.
I know. Okay, so the Pittsville Middle School goals. So we have the same mission and vision statement as the high school. Our academic goal, students in grades 6 through 8 who are identified at the bottom quartile of the student body will by the end of the year show growth in reading. They wanted to focus on reading this year just because of our ELA scores. And this will be measured by Ames Web in both falls, winter, and spring. We don't have the baseline data yet for that, so when we meet with Chris on Monday, we will get that to you guys. And then middle school also, because they do the CTE program, or they have classes in the CTE program, we also thought about doing an employability skill goal, which is going to be interesting to see the growth over time as they get to high school and get those employability rubrics out to the job shadows and senior internships. So we are going to get the high school rubric and then tailor it to the middle school. So by the end of the 25-26 school year, 100% of our middle school students in grades 7 and 8 will demonstrate growth in communication and problem solving as measured by performance tasks, classroom assessments, and teacher feedback. So similar, but just the grade level change. And then their social emotional goal, this was before that they had this, so 100% of the middle school students will have a connection with at least one adult in the middle school staff and one peer. So a total of the students that took the survey are 107, and 93.5% of students who feel connection with at least one staff member, so 100 students out of 107, and then the number of students who have a connection with at least one peer, 102 out of 107. So very good numbers. The ones that don't have a connection, we are really working hard with our Elise Hans, really working hard with kind of formulating, not forced connections, but kind of maybe it's a new student to the district, or maybe it's they just don't feel a connection. Maybe it's a staff member that they feel really connected to at the elementary, but we're really focused on the connection with the middle school staff because that's who they see. So
Taylor, I'm assuming if we had any of those students of the 7 of the 5 that were repeat, that would raise it even another level
Correct.
of concern on our part.
yes. Yeah. So
And do you know? I mean, are there individuals that are both, don't feel connected to either?
yes.
Yeah, we have that data.
Yes. Yes. Yep, we have that data. So Elise Hahn does a really nice job with meeting with those individuals, meeting with those students, and trying to kind of set up a mentee-mentor type of relationship. So yeah. Yep.
All right, so, okay. I have elementary then, so you can go over to the next one. So our academic goal, and we're not gonna do employability, so we're still working on
Those little fingers can do lots of things.
Yeah. So, our academic, our focus is a little bit different. We were trying to see, like, we want all of our students to make gains, and we all want that, but our focus is going to be 100% of our elementary students, which is the 4K through 5th, will increase their national percentile rank on the Ames Web Screener into the next percentile band, or maintain at that proficient or advanced performance level. So it's still kind of working on those kids that might be at basic, but we want to get them to the next level. But we also have some that are already here, and we want them to maintain where they are. They can still grow in there, but sometimes when you're already at that top, it's really hard to grow a whole lot. So we want them to at least maintain that proficient or that advanced performance level, or move to that next grade level, percentile band. And so it might be 50th percentile here, and we want them to go to the 70th. So, and it doesn't mean that they have to go 20 points to go in there, but it might just mean they might be just a little bit pushed to get into that next percentile band.
Leslie, question quick. Do the kids know too, right? This is communicated with families, so the kids will know when you talk about these goals, like, they'll be aware. I know they're young,
Yes.
but with these little kids, they know what that growth looks like, I assume.
Well, and parents, I believe at parent-teacher conferences were given their Ames
Right.
Lab scores, and then also too with our personal reading plans. We don't have as many this year, but still knowing where they are here and knowing how they can get to that, to graduate from their personal reading plans. So yes, we communicate that. Then our social emotional goal is the same as last year, but we want 100% of our students that will report they have at least one adult and one peer that they feel a connection to. And as of the survey that we did in October, we have 100% of our students that already have one connection with a peer. So there were no students that had 0, but we want that to even go more. So yes, they already met that part of the goal, but then we can push and make that even more. We had 11 students that said they had no adult connection. So then our focus will be on those students and just helping to create those relationships with all different staff that they might encounter, or even ones that they do not. So we started doing a check and connect, where we just make sure that staff know those students, know those faces, and to be able to help make that connection as well.
So are you taking a very proactive strategy with that where where all staff know these 11 students don't feel connected? So who can kind of try to see if they're a good connection and then,
So we
not-
share with the whole staff,
Great.
and so even as they're coming through the lunchtime, like that might be where you're saying their name, or they're, talking if there's a connection with fishing or whatever it might be. So any staff member would have, a little bit of background with that.
Awesome.
Thank you guys.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. It's good to see well-defined goals that everyone is bought into. So good work on the building level. Okay, item 11, legislative updates.
We need a motion.
Oh, yes, we need a
Yes.
motion. I'm sorry.
I'll make a motion to approve the high school and elementary building goals as presented.
I'll second it.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the high school and elementary building goals as presented. In favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Now we can go on to 11 and the legislative updates. So I've been keeping track a little bit of the WASB. Do you folks get the WASB legislative updates also? Is that an automatic thing, or do you have to, I think you have to sign up for it? Okay. Well, the Senate's in session coming up here, and they think they're gonna vote on some things, so that's about it. One of the big things that has been a priority for WASB is the reforming how annuitants or retired people can come back. And that has passed, that has passed out of committee in both houses, but they can't get a floor vote because some people don't like it. And some people see it as double dipping. I have contacted my people to say, no, it's not. It's really important
it's
for
needed.
rural districts, yeah. Very, very important for rural districts. Anyone hear anything else, or Jason, have you had a reach out from anyone?
For some reason, I can't think of what it is right now, but there's something we have to vote on in the next, it passed, and school districts have to
Was
vote
it
on.
the cell phone policy?
Yes, the cell phone policy.
So just so you know, we
fine.
actually were ahead of the curve on that. That's been our policy from the get-go. Is we do not allow phones out during academic times and have it, so.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they need that. I think if you already have the language, I don't think you need to adopt their language, but we already have a cell phone ban during all academic times in both buildings.
Yeah, and also would have to check the bill text, but I don't think that it's something that has to be done next month, even if we did.
No, there was a timeline.
I'll double check to see if we need to do anything different, but we have effectively students cannot use cell phones
Right.
during any academic time in either building, so I believe we are covered already. I kind of chuckled when I saw that and said, it's about time, right?
Well,
Should,
I personally think it's a local decision, but.
well, I would just say that I'm
it's
just saying
best
in general,
practice.
it is, and
Yeah, by July 1st of 2026.
Yeah,
Uh,
some school boards need a nudge.
hot off the presses, Pam sent me today the WRS rate for the employee and employer contribution, the shares went up to 14.4%. It was 13.9 last year, so it's 7.2 each for the WRS rate. That was just today, right, Pam, just this afternoon?
No, it came out a while ago. Yes, like in beginning of October. I just forgot to put it on October meeting with the
Got
budget
it.
going on, so. It doesn't take effect until the first
14.4,
payroll in
7.2.
2026.
For
Yeah.
employer and employee contribution.
And that WRS contribution is usually adjusted every year. So
Yes,
it kind of
correct.
goes up and sometimes it
Correct.
goes down.
Correct.
Up 0.5% from last year.
Okay.
So,
Okay. Well, item number 12, public comments. I don't see anyone here, so I think we're okay on that. Item 13, future agenda items. Advanced learning report, notice of educational options policy, and exhibit will be up for first reading. School report card reports.
Yep.
And my understanding is that's when the CISA rep comes in
Right,
to give the analysis.
Chris Betcher will be the one who's doing our daily conversations, will be coming in December.
Yeah.
To give the school board a report card synopsis.
Okay, we'll have the audit presentation coming up and also an update on the childcare center.
Wendy will be here, I can tell you through today, we have some positive movement, we'll have hopefully more positive news to share.
Okay. Next, the board will consider moving into closed session as per Wisconsin State Statute 19.85 (1) C. Do I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second the motion.
Roll call vote, Julie?
Pam? Mary Ann?
Yes.
Rick? Julie? Yes. Chris, absent.
Okay, we are now in closed session.
You're welcome.